Hello, everybody out there. So for today's video, I wanted to do a video with a title that is not perfect, and whether it's perfect in the long run or not, I don't know, but we'll get there eventually. So for the video today, I wanted to do advertising or self-promoting for individuals who are in sales positions, and I use sales positions again, and I'll kind of explain why, or even small businesses. So I was driving to Dallas recently, and I was on Facebook. I guess I wasn't the one driving, but I was going up to Dallas recently. I was on Facebook, and I was like, I keep on getting invited to these groups, like to join like people's realty like group or small business group or their car sales group or whatever it is. And like, that's fine and dandy. But I like have looked at a lot of these groups and looked at people's posts that are like on their individual pages, whether they do realty, so they sell homes, they sell cars, life insurance, whatever type of sales they end up doing, where it's like very like themselves trying to like make money just like directly from sales. So like you're not working for like necessarily like a bigger company and then like helping like a team and all that kind of stuff. Same kind of thing if you have a small business, it kind of all just falls in that same kind of category as far as like promoting yourself, advertising for yourself or for your small business. So like I said, on the way up to Dallas, and I'm kind of going to start with like a little bit of like a story, and then I'll kind of give like my thoughts and my advice on it from like what I've read and what I believe. So driving up to Dallas, and I was like I said, noticing like a lot of these posts, a lot of these groups, it's the same very like generic posts over and over. If you look at someone who sells homes, a lot of like, hey, I sold this home to so-and-so, or this home is listed for sale now, or it's a picture of somebody in front of a home with them and they sold the home to them. It's a little bit of a excerpt of text. Same thing with people that do car sales, life insurance, even small businesses. It's a lot of posts that are like very generic. Again, kind of with like car sales, you see a lot of people that'll post like photos of them with people that are bought a car. Like with COVID time, you might not see them in the photo. Might be a quick bio of like, thank you so-and-so, or like, thanks for supporting me, or hey, there's this car that's for sale now on the lot. It's brand new. It's going to go fast. They're very like dry and generic posts. And I really think that, again, like my whole goal is to be able to help people. And I feel like I haven't done a lot of like general like life advice. And I feel like this is the first real video I'm doing of it, that I'm actually doing on a live stream. So that's the general ideas. I don't feel like it's that effective. I don't feel like you're utilizing your self-promotion, and I don't think you're really utilizing your time very well. So I really think that kind of boils down because of the fact that a lot of people don't want to put in the time or the work, or people think that that's just the easy way and that's what they're supposed to do. But I would challenge you to really think about it from a different perspective. So a little bit of a background as far as like what I'm coming from. I read a book back in college, so it's been a little bit ago, I'm not going to lie, and it's funny that it popped into my head, but again, on the way to Dallas, it popped into my head, and it's a book by Gary Vee, if I'm not mistaken, and if you don't know who Gary Vee is, go Google it. I'm surprised if you don't, though. So he wrote a book, if I'm not mistaken, I said it could be by somebody else, because I didn't go Google it myself, but I'm pretty sure it's by him, but it was called Jab, Jab, Right Hook, if I'm not mistaken, and I read it, like I said, a long time ago, and basically what it's about is social media and an online presence for people that are trying to create a brand, create a company, whatever it may be, and really promoting that online and kind of like the way to go about it. And again, like I can't remember everything that I read, obviously, because it was a hot minute ago. I would recommend you read the book if you do want to create your own brand, if you're in a sales position where you're like I said, trying to like take care of yourself and you're not necessarily working in like a big team, or if you're starting a small business. So the thing about the book, and the thing that I kind of realized as well, is that you have to put out good content that is quality content as well as engaging, because at the end of the day, if all you're doing is posting the same kind of posts that you see online all the time that other people in the same position do, it's not going to really affect people and like drive engagement or drive like positive like likes, comments, whatever. Like you're just not going to get that from like copying and pasting what everybody else is doing. So kind of like my thought process on like kind of like what you could do, or kind of like how you could change things up. So for the perspective of someone like who's selling homes or selling cars, it would make a lot more sense if you do sell a car to somebody, or you do sell a home to somebody, instead of just taking a photo with them or something generic like that, maybe doing a quick 30-second, 60-second testimonial video and actually like capturing what that person is saying and what they're like and how their experience was with you, and posting that on your Facebook page or your Instagram, or even maybe starting a YouTube. I would actually recommend starting a YouTube, which sounds funny because if you're selling cars, you're selling homes, how many people do you know that's a realtor or a car salesman who has a YouTube channel? Probably not very many, but it is going to set you apart. Same thing if you're someone who's, like I said, who's in these realms of doing sales, or starting a small business and trying to run it and like build it up. you need to have like positive engagement. So again, like if you're in the position of like selling a home, it'd be more interesting if you were doing a video or doing a post on like 5 tips that I would recommend to buy a home, or five pitfalls that you can fall into if you're buying a home, and stuff like that. Stuff that's a little bit more engaging, a little bit more drawing, and stuff that's going to get you a little bit more, like I said, just engagement from people. And also it just shows that you're willing to give stuff out and that you're trying to help people, and you're not just about like, give me, give me, give me, give me. That's the whole idea of like the jab, jab, right hook, was that you got to jab by giving away good, free quality content that's helping people and that actually brings value to their lives. Because at the end of the day, we live in a society that's full of noise. Like there's TV, there's radio, there's social media, there's your just regular phone ringing. There's so much noise in our world, and so when somebody's out there and they're just pushing more content that's just noise, it's not actually helpful, it's not insightful, it's not like actually doing anything aside from just being like a, hey, look at me, hey, look at me, hey, look at me. Like you're not going to do anything to break through the noise, you just are part of the noise. So I'm kind of jumping around on the examples as it kind of pops into my head. But the other thing that I would really recommend is if you are somebody who's doing that, like if you're selling cars, like if you're selling homes, whatever it is, again, like I said, like common pitfalls, things that you can do leading up to buying a home, how you should finance your home, maybe like where you should be as far as how much you should have saved, what kind of rate you should be trying to get, what you can do to build up your credit score, just different things like that that help people if they are thinking about buying a home, buying a car, buying life insurance, whatever it is. It's content that they're going to eventually Google themselves, but if they see you post it, then they're going to think, oh, hey, my friend Matt posted about selling a home, and he posted about 5 pitfalls of buying a home for the first time. I'm thinking about buying a home. I see his article on Facebook that he wrote up, or a video that he posted. If I'm thinking about buying a house, I'm probably going to watch it. I'm probably going to read it. I'm going to consume it, and I'm going to be like, oh, like Matt gave me something for free. And to be 100% honest with you, if you think about it from like a holistic standpoint, let's say you put out, I don't know, in a month, you put out 10 pieces of content, whether it's written word or it's video, it doesn't really matter. It's posted on your multiple social media pages. Like I said, whatever ones you choose to use, I would recommend, again, like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as a basic like idea, and also have a website, obviously. But you post that content, someone like looks over your content, they read what you put out there, they read or watch 3 pieces of it out of 10 in a month. And they're taking away, like I said, like a positive idea of like how to improve their experience, how to be a smarter consumer, whatever it may be. And then you go, like let's say your 11th post the next month is, hey, I have this house that I have listed. Or hey, if you want to sell your home or you're looking to buy a home, feel free to reach out to me. And then also like put in more quality content within that post, like another article, another video. Think about how much more impactful that'll be if you're someone in one of those positions or a small business, having put out content that's actually like helpful, that isn't just noise, and then someone actually watches it or reads it, versus somebody else, or the same person rather, say that same person who has seen the same generic, I'm selling this house, this car is here for sale, I sell this, or I do this, or we make this type of food, or we sell whatever at this store, whatever it may be. Like those, like if they see that same 3 posts of content, it's gonna just wash over them like noise. Like they're not even gonna hear it, pay attention to it, let alone probably read or like engage with it past just being like, oh, I see it on my phone. Okay, cool. Next. So who do you think that they're more likely to reach out to if they have questions? Maybe they don't even want to buy from you, but they have questions. And what does that do? It builds up your credibility, and it makes you an authority in a space that a lot of people, like I said, don't have any authority, don't have any credibility, aren't giving out quality content, aren't giving things away for free to help people. And I'm telling you, long story short, like if you really look at the people that are in these professions, if you're in sales yourself, if you are a small business, if you really stop and like look at what's going on around you, like just look in your city, like for example, like San Antonio, look in San Antonio where I live, and you're gonna see that like 95% of people are not producing this type of content because it takes time, it takes effort, and it's not like the old school way of doing it. But I'm gonna confidently tell you, if you are producing quality content that's helping people, it's building value, not only in yourself, but also in your knowledge, it is going to build up over time and over time and over time, and you're going to be much more successful in that industry, in that city that you live in, than anybody else, because you're going to have credibility, viability, and a level of authority that no one else is going to have matched. Because when they type in, if you put enough content out, let's say you do it for 3 years, like long-term example, say you're a realtor and you're selling homes. You put out good quality content on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and your website, whatever. And you're doing 1 to 2 pieces of content a week. Okay, so let's say 1 piece of content a week. Screw it, 1 piece. You're gonna get to 3 years, you're gonna have 150 unique pieces of content. Yeah, some of it might be a little recycled or a little bit more updated or whatever it may be, but it's individual pieces of content. And when someone goes to Google San Antonio realtor or San Antonio car salesman, I'm telling you that content, because you have built up an audience for it, because you're helping people in that area and you're not expecting to get anything back, you're going to have built up an audience, and when someone Googles it, your name's going to start popping up more and more and more and more as like a higher search, because you've built up an audience and people are watching your stuff, reading your stuff, and engaging with you. And I think the biggest piece of this is that it's not expecting anything back from it. So I think a lot of people, like, that's the reason why they just make these really generic posts, is that all they're looking for is like, I want someone to buy a car. I want someone to buy a home from me. I want someone to come to my business. And it's not about giving good quality content to people. It's actually going to make their lives better, make their lives easier, whatever it may be, like whatever the content's meant to do. It's usually just put out there by people because it's noise and they just want people to come buy shit from them. But if people feel like you're actually putting stuff out for free, if people feel like you actually give a shit, they're much more likely to respond positively. And they may never buy from you, but the thing is if your name comes up and one of their friends brings up your name, they're gonna be like, oh, hey, I read this article or I watched this video that Matt the realtor that he made, and you should go check it out. And it's that word of mouth that you can't really buy, especially in any of those sales industries or sales positions. So I think that's really kind of like the gist of the general idea. I think it's the same thing for small businesses, is that you really have to not just stand out as far as being like a really cool place to go, but also really, like I said, putting out content that's not just, hey, this is our special or stuff like that. Like trying to make things different, trying to make things interesting. And I would definitely say, if you're someone who's watching this and you are like, oh shit, like I fall into that bucket, or oh, maybe I'm new into whatever industry or whatever position, if you want to reach out, feel free. Like I said, my whole goal is to help 100 million people. 100 million people. And the only way I'm able to do that is if people are reaching out to me with questions, comments, or sharing my stuff. I don't ever ask people to like or subscribe. If you want to do that, it's awesome. But if you're someone who wants to ask questions about this, you can DM me on any of these platforms that you see this video. You can DM me on Facebook, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Because if you're thinking like, oh shit, like what do I do? Or do you, like, is there any other ideas that you can give me, or like insight that you can give me? Feel free to reach out. That's the whole reason that I'm doing this, is to help people improve their lives in small ways as well as large ways. And again, like I said, I always ask people to share the content. If you know someone who you feel like this would be helpful for, someone who's starting their own business, someone who's in a sales position who maybe like isn't like having the best results right now, feel free to share it with them. If it was helpful for you, feel free to share it. If you think someone will laugh at some dumb shit maybe I said in this video, same thing, feel free to share. Like I said, at the end of the day, the whole idea is to help people. And the best way for me to do that is to ask people to ask me questions, and for people to basically reach out and share the information that I do provide. What I'm going to do at this point in time is I'm going to go to a Q&A. I feel like I don't always say I'm going to do a Q&A, but I am going to do a Q&A. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to be part of that, all you got to do is search on Facebook or Twitch TV, Coach Ethan Dean, and my name will pop up. It's Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central, and Saturdays I have it at 12:30, but I think I'm going to push it back to 1, because 12:30 seems like a little bit of a hangover time stuff for people, or they're waking up or whatever it is. So that's what I have right now for the main video. If I do ever forget anything in the actual videos, then I will end up putting it in as a weird little excerpt, but I feel pretty good about this one. Again, I don't want to like just put 5,000 ideas of what you could do for content, because I feel like if you actually want to know, you can reach out. So that's what I got right now for the YouTube fam out there. Hope you guys stay healthy and safe, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye.